Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And in this scene in Thor Ragnarok, Thor says, "I'm not as strong as you are" to Odin, and Odin replies, "No, you're stronger." So let's see if that theory holds true in Marvel Contest of Champions, as we're going to compare the damage output of Odin, who is the newest character in Marvel Contest of Champions, and Thor, who has been in the game for a very long time. He used to be this crazy OP character, then 12.0 like nerfed him to the ground, then he got a mini buff that like he can now get 2 armor breaks and a fury. So damage output wise, he's actually pretty solid right now, as you're going to see. Like even he doesn't really need much build up, as long as you have 1 armor break, 1 fury, or 2 armor breaks, no fury. Like you should have something, and he's going to hit incredibly hard. You can see he's not really suicide friendly. He doesn't really bring much utility besides the stun on the special attacks, and he does need to be awakened, and ideally at a high signature level as well. But you can see the damage output on that guy is still pretty crazy. Now moving on to Odin, we are going to talk about him a little bit more after the damage comparison. I have a few clips from some variants, Act 6, and it's going to be a mini review kind of video. This is by no means a guide. This is more like a first impression kind of video, because he's obviously a very new character. By the way, I only get to keep him for a month in the content creator beta, so not even on the live server, so it doesn't really give me any advantage except I get to make videos on it. But anyways, coming back to the comparison, Thor is already done, and this does not mean that Odin has bad damage, because he doesn't. Odin, like you're going to see, he's still 68 hits in, we are 1 minute 44 seconds in, plus we also had the short clip at the beginning from Thor Ragnarok. So overall, like, his damage output is pretty impressive in the first fight when he does have the Odin sleep thing going, because then you start with a fury and you're just dealing way more damage. Like, let me show you example in this fight. So the fight starts and you start with a fury. It's a pretty decent fury. You're going to see like 7,000 mediums. This is a rank 3 star now. In the damage comparison, we were using a 565 character. Main reason is that I want to give you guys the full picture in one video, because I don't think I'm going to be making 2 videos on this guy. Although if you do want me to test out certain things, do let me know in the comment section. And his pre-fight abilities are very strong, so I can try different characters. I am going to be uploading video on Hela, because that synergy is just so good. I will definitely recommend you guys checking it out. But look at that, like it didn't take let's see how many hits that took, but it is an Act 6, early Act 6, but still he can carry his own there. He's not going to be like a Cosmic Ghost Rider like character. Damage wise is nowhere close to a Noodle, but he doesn't have crazy damage, and utility wise he's just very lacking. He doesn't have any immunities. He has a true strike on the SP1. We will be showcasing that, and if you're not running suicides, then it's fine, because you also have energize, which means you gain more combat power, so you can cycle your SP1s and you can have a full 100% uptime on the true strike there. But like, there's just so many better characters if you want to counter evade. Example like Moleman, just you don't even have to do anything, or Killmonger, where you just have to dash back after the special attack and you will get a true strike. You can keep that up for the entire duration of the fight for the most part. So overall, I'm not too impressed by Odin. Like, he's certainly not a bad character. His damage output, I say, is above average, and he brings in a little bit of utility with that true strike, I guess, and the energize is definitely nice to have. Some buffs as well with the fury, and if you have Heimdall, you can also get a perfect block buff by holding your block. But overall, like, Odin is supposed to be this probably the strongest character in the MCU so far, even stronger than Thanos, I'd say, at least like when he was in his prime. Because I haven't read that many comic books, but I have seen a few videos lately on Odin, and like, he has done a lot of impressive stuff, including taking down Surtur, who was like that being who took down Hela at the end, and also destroyed Asgard. Now in the start of the movie, technically Thor also defeated him, but he didn't have his helmet or whatever that thing is. So like, Odin defeated him when he was at full strength, so that's kind of impressive considering Hela didn't even stand a chance against him, and like all Thor, Valkyrie, and Hulk, all of them combined couldn't beat Hela. So like it makes you think how powerful is this guy supposed to be. But in Marvel Concept Champions, he's not that good. As you can see, like the evade thing, the true strike, it's nice. I am running Houston masteries, so I didn't want to risk it that much because otherwise like recoil would have killed me, although I did end up quitting the fight after this. And I'm going to jump into a variant. His special 2 damage, it has a damage cap, which is kind of weird, and his mechanics generally, like if you read his mechanics, you're going to imagine like this guy has to have like, a very crazy damage, because after the first fight you do not want, like when he doesn't have the Odin sleep, he doesn't, like it's very unnecessary. I don't see why. It's a cool mechanic, I guess. It makes sense because Odin does go to an Odin sleep for like once a year, I guess, but it really isn't necessary. This guy isn't as good that that you need a penalty and you don't get anything in return. Like if you were regenerating at that time, then that would have been cool, but for the most part, like I have only been using him in the first fight and then quitting out of quest, and that's not really a practical way to play any character. But as you're going to see here, the SP2 damage is pretty nice, and the pre-fights are definitely very nice. I forgot to mention that. The aptitude buff, the protection is going to be huge. The shock resistance is also pretty nice to have. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Like this video, share with your alliance, and stay safe. Bye bye. Have a good one.